Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. They've been in a great group. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy that springs for the good stuff.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here we go now.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll look to throw, and that's caught by Smith. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And they'll run it here. And a short gain here down to the 22. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really...
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Demetrius Harris, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. On the return is Henderson. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
No. Check. Patriot.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Well, look at the numbers for Coleman in last week's game. 8 carries, 77 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Let's have a look at the defensive starters for New Orleans. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. He'll look to throw. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll drop to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Gun!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The 13 yards that time of the 1st.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now they'll throw here out of the gun, escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
No, check, Patriot!
He'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be third and goal. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. Back to throw here. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll set up to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw here on first down. And Jones has it over the middle. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll look to throw now on first down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Now here's a timeout, as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Floating one, incomplete. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where you see the final score there. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. We'll stay in the AFC West as we head west to Oakland. Check on the silver and black. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. The Raiders locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Mike Evans, well over 100-yard receiver.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. On the return is Henderson. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminate it.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, This feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
A gain of 39 that time.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Boom.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be second and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And it's taken in at the 9. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up first and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56.
On play action, they'll throw. Flushed out right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
This is Coleman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Sheldon Rankins in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be second and 11. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Smith catches left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Penalty stings big time there. Wipes away a very good return.
And they work on it so hard because
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. They're going to look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
See what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. His throw incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Steps away to his, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Sheldon Rankins in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
No gain, and it's 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives them a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13.
Now let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Saints on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle yourselves.
I like that. Yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
That almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
loved
did.
The defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for New Orleans, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.